Hello friends, myself Siddharth K. I am a student of IIM Trichy, Chennai campus PGPBM 1820 batch. Today I am here to enlighten about an interesting topic. It's about the Indian Ocean region and how it has shaped the international trade for India. A little bit of history. India has been trading ever since 800 AD through the Indian Ocean region to the various parts of the world. In today's times, it is highly significant relevant for India to use the Indian Ocean region to trade than it has ever been. This is because the Indian Ocean acts as a major conduit for international trade. The vast littoral of the Indian Ocean provides opportunities to some of the most densely populated and fastest growing nations in the subcontinent of Asia. It is also a valuable source of rich mineral resources and especially helps the fishing industry. Hence, the Indian Ocean is under the constant threat of exploitation by the smugglers, perpetrators, and the pirates. It is of high significance for the subcontinent of Asia because of three major reasons. Firstly, Indian Ocean is at the crossroads of the global trade. Hence, it is able to connect the subcontinent to the major drivers of international economy in the northern part of Atlantic and the Asia Pacific region. This is particularly important because in today's times the global shipping industry has flourished. Today, almost 90,000 vessels in the world's commercial fleet industry transports almost 9.84 billion tons per year. This represents an increase or surge in volumes by almost fourfolds in the commercial shipping industry ever since 1970. Also, 36 million barrels per day, equivalent to almost 40% of the world's oil supply, and the 64% of the oil trade happens through the Indian Ocean belt. Indian Ocean is not just a conduit for commerce. The ocean's vast drainage basin is a rich source for almost more than 2 billion people. Hence, it creates opportunities to the fast growing and developing nations such as India, Bangladesh, Southeast Asia, and the southern and the eastern parts of Africa. The Indian Ocean also accounts for its natural resources, which helps the various nations across the subcontinent. Almost 40% of the world's offshore oil production happens in the Indian Ocean basin. Fishing in the Indian Ocean now accounts for almost 15% of world's total production, and it has increased almost by 13 folds, especially between 1950 and 2010 to 11.5 million tons. Aquaculture in this region has grown by 12 folds ever since 1980. Although there are natural limitations in the fishing industry, the Indian Ocean was able to sustain the increases in production. The mineral resources are also equally important because the Indian Ocean has certain rare minerals like cobalt, zinc, copper, silver, and gold in sizable quantities in its seabed. Indian Ocean also has certain coastal sediments of rich but rare minerals such as titanium, zirconium, zinc, and copper. These minerals are scarcely found on the surface of land of any nation across the world. For India, the Indian Ocean is highly significant because it covers for almost 7,500 kilometers of coastline of India. Hence, India is at the crossroads of Indian Ocean. In 2015, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi he quoted in his speech in Mauritius that Indian Ocean is one of their top policy priorities. And the way they've been looking at Indian Ocean has been quite different ever since their tenure. And the Indian Ocean is also helping India to improve its international trade. A few illustrations, almost 95% of India's trade by volume and the 68% of trade by value comes via the Indian Ocean. Additionally, 3.8 million barrels, almost 80% of the India's crude oil requirement is imported by sea through the Indian Ocean. Taking into account India's offshore oil production and the petroleum exports, India's sea dependence for oil is almost 93% according to Indian Navy. India is also the fourth largest importer of liquefied natural gas. Almost 45% comes through the sea route in the Indian Ocean region. Moreover, India is also heavily dependent on the resources of Indian Ocean. In the recent times, in 2008, India captured almost 4.1 million tons of fish, which helped India to place itself sixth in the world, and its fishing and aquaculture industries developed and provided job opportunities to more than 14 million people. Fisheries and aquaculture industries are also a major source of exports. So if we consider the equation y is equal to c plus I plus g plus nx, the nx part, majorly the exports, flourished because of the Indian Ocean belt. The maritime exports of India grew by almost 55 times in terms of volume between the period 1962 and 2012. And the fisheries exports accounted for almost rupees 16,000 crores, which is $2.5 billion. The mineral resource extraction also became important for India through the Indian Ocean. In 1987, India received exclusive rights to explore the central part of the Indian Ocean. And ever since, India has been able to explore almost 4 million square miles in the Indian Ocean, and this helped India to establish 2 mining sites. In 2013, the Geographical Survey of India acquired a deep sea exploration ship called the Samudra Ratnakar from South Korea, which helped India to boost its survey capabilities. In the year 2014, the International Seabed Authority issued licenses for the Indian Ocean Ridge to various countries, which opened up opportunities for the deep seabed mining. Hence, the Indian Ocean region is considered to have massive reserves of manganese, cobalt, nickel, and copper, which are scarce on the Indian soil. There is also a security dimension of India's engagement with the Indian Ocean. In 2008, there was one of the world's worst terrorist attacks in the recent Indian history, because during that period almost 164 people were killed by the terrorists, and the terrorists used the sea route of the Indian Ocean to enter into Mumbai. Hence, India monitors the Indian Ocean closely to also help itself to avoid the terrorist attacks and improve its defense mechanism. India has also been playing a major role in the humanitarian and disaster relief operations through the Indian Ocean region. It has offered help to almost many countries like Yemen, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, because of the natural disasters which affected those nations. Hence, Indian Ocean is acting as a major source for building the international relations of India with various countries across the world, and also improve and promote its international trade. Thank you, guys. I've collected these points from an article written by Dhruva Jayashankar. It's an interesting article. You all should read it when you find time. Thanks a lot for this opportunity. Thank you.